What's happening, YouTube? This is Juju, the Gullah God. And today, I got an interesting topic. And it's, what does it mean to have the Christ conscience? Right? And this is important because consciousness is very, very, very important in your spirituality. Because we know conscious is to be aware. What are you aware of? So having a Christ conscience, right? We have to remember what Christ was depicted as in the Bible. Now, just like I said before on one of my videos, that Jesus Christ symbolically represents something, right? The Christ represents the oneness with the Creator. This is why in the Bible, Jesus always talked about me and my Father are one. See what I'm saying? So Christ represents a oneness with the divine, right? So if Christ represents the oneness with the divine, then what is the Christ consciousness? Okay? So when we mix all those together, it's an awareness that you have with the divine, right? We have to understand that, you know, we have a piece of the divine in us, right? That's which is your soul, right? So when people say, hey man, you know, you have a soul mission, you have a soul purpose, right? So everyone has a soul purpose. A lot of people are not aware or not conscious of their purpose. They think they do, right? They think they do. But a lot of them not sure. They might have an idea, but they're not sure of their purpose. They're not sure where they came from. They're not sure what to do. They're not sure about how doing it, right? Your soul is who you are to the core. The body is just a vehicle. So the soul is who you really are. So how can you become one with your soul? One with knowing who you are. One with knowing your purpose. One with knowing where you came from. It was a verse in the Bible when Jesus got baptized. And like I said, y'all, I'm not a religious man, so when I'm quoting Jesus, I don't want you to think that, you know, I'm a religious dude, I'm a Christian, because I'm not, right? But like I said again, I want you to understand that the Bible is coded. You have to understand what these things means when they're giving us these scriptures to understand them properly. But there's a verse in the Bible when Jesus talked about him being baptized by the Holy Spirit. And it said God's Spirit came down on him like a dove. And once he was baptized, he remembered who he was. He remembered his purpose. This is what I'm getting at. That what brought the oneness, that energy. That's how he became the Christ, because he became one with who he didn't know who he was. He became one with the soul, the spirit. Right? He became one with that. So after he became one with that, he knew who he was, he knew what he had to do, and he knew how he was going to do it. And he knew where he came from. So when I talk about having a pure conscience means that you are aware of who you are, where you come from, and what you need to do. So God is directing you, guiding you. It's the oneness you have with him. It's open line of communication that he's directing you firsthand on what to do. He's directing you firsthand. See, right now, a lot of us get a lot of signs We see a little sign, see a sign there. I think this is what God wants me to do. When you see the sign, I think that's the God telling me to do this. What? You see what I'm saying? We're trying to figure it out right now because a lot of us don't have that Christ conscience. You see what I'm saying? But once you get that Christ conscience, which means oneness with God, right? You know who you are. You know your purpose. You know where you come from, and you know how to do it, right? So there's no more figuring out. There's no trying to read signs. You feel what I'm saying? You directly know from the Creator who you are, your purpose, how you're going to go about doing it. You see what I'm saying? It's a oneness. So that's what Jesus symbolically represents. He's symbolically saying, hey, once y'all become the Christ, you're going to know who you are. You're going to know where you come from. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to know how to do it. You see what I'm saying? So this is what it means to have a pure consciousness. It means to have the Christ consciousness. It means to fully know your purpose because you have a direct communication with the divine. You're getting direct instructions from the divine of what to do. You feel what I'm saying? And how to do it. You feel what I'm saying? It's no more guessing. No more trying to figure it out. But that's what it means to have a pure conscience. Because one thing we know, that the Creator knows all. So when you have a direct communication or direct line with that source, imagine how powerful you'll be or fall in tune with your path. You see? Because we have to understand that we have a purpose. We have a destiny. Right? But you have to remember, you got free will. Yeah. You know you got free will because you think, you make your decision. You can say yeah, you can say no. You choose to go where you want to go. You choose. You're not pushed by force. You choose. It's up to you to make these decisions. But you have a destiny. And while you're on this journey, walking your path, right? It's going to be a lot of things that are going to try to trick you. It's going to be a lot of things that are going to try to throw you off your path. It's going to be a lot of things that are going to try to trick you of, not fully understanding who you are. You feel what I'm saying? Your purpose. But when you become one with God, who can trick you? Who can come and lie in your face? There's a lot of people that's going to come and try and think they're deceiving you, and let them, don't tell them if they feel that they're deceiving you, let them feel that way. You feel what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people that are not going to be coming in your face and tell you things because you're going to see straight through them. This is the power of having the oneness with the divine. You feel what I'm saying? You'll be able to see through all the illusions. You'll be able to see through all the falsehoods. You feel what I'm saying? You'll be able to see through all the trickery because God sees all. So if you're connected with that oneness, how can you be misled? How can you be fooled? See, you're going to know. This is the power of having the mind of Christ, which is the oneness with God. Right? You'll know. You will know. So right now, a lot of guys are guessing. You're trying to figure out. Right? So this is why it's important to elevate this energy. You have to raise this energy up your chakras to your crown. You have to. It's really important because the things that we're going to be facing in the system, when we're on the path, it's going to be a lot of things, a lot of people that's going to try to break you down, try to deceive you. You understand what I'm saying? Put that face on for you. The illusion, right? If you're not connected, it's going to be real difficult. Because it's not easy. Now, don't get me wrong. One thing that we can do, we can feel energy. Because we're going to always be to feel that vibe, right? But see, the thing is, when we feel energy, we might not fully understand what the energy is. We just know we got a bad feeling or a good feeling. You feel what I'm saying? But we fully don't understand why. But when you raise this energy to your mind, this God energy, when you raise it to your crown chakra, you become the Christ. This is what they don't want you to know. You become the Christ. You have become one with God. So now there's no second guessing because that energy is one with your mind now. So now you're going to know for sure. No more second guessing. You're going to know for sure. This is what they don't want us to know. This is what they don't want us to raise that energy to our crown and become one with God. Because once we do that, there's no more deceiving. There's no more second guessing ourselves. You feel what I'm saying? This is where the power is. As long as they keep this energy low, they can use their trickery. They can use their illusions. You feel what I'm saying? This is how a lot of people that come to this earth have a purpose, a soul purpose. This is how they get off track. They get caught up in this world, caught up in the system, caught up in the everyday living that they're being trained or conditioned to do. You feel what I'm saying? Because once you've been birthed into the system, the moment you've been birthed into the system, that's the moment you start being conditioned, being trained. Especially when you start getting caught up in the school system and the religions and the system of seeing your parents and everyone else that's ahead of you. You get caught up in the system, the program, right? Just like going to school, right? School is a program. School programs you. It programs you. Religion programs you. You see, it gets you ready to be controlled. You feel what I'm saying? This is so the power is always in the energy, raising your vibration, raising your masculine and feminine energy, which is the God in you, to your crown. And once you become one with that, there's nothing they can do. Nothing they can do. There's nothing no one can do. They can think they're deceiving you. But deep down inside, you already know. And that's why I say sometimes once you read this conscious, you hear people talk, you listen to them, and you just be like, boy, they don't even know what I see through them. They don't even know. That's the power of that. That's the power of you going on your path and knowing what's for you and knowing what's not for you. Because the Bible lets you know. So as you walk in your destiny, something is destined for you to go, right? And like I said, once you have a destiny that you've been given to God, that God has given you, right? It's going to be a lot of things that's going to try to take you off there. And as you journey through this path, and you meet all these different illusions, all these different people, all these different circumstances that's going to take you off their path or try to trick you, you're going to be able to see through them. You see what I'm saying? So this is why it's so important to understand what masculine and feminine energy is. Masculine and feminine energy is the God in you that's trying to rise in you to your crown, to become one with you so it can guide you through the mind. But along with this energy, it's still in the base or in the middle of your 7 chakras, you're going to always second guess the energy because the energy hasn't risen yet. So when you feel a certain way, you're going to always think about, damn, why am I feeling like that? Why am I feeling like that? I know I feel a certain way. But once this energy makes contact with the crown, with the brain, and become one with your mind, there's no more second guessing because it has become one. You see what I'm saying? This is the power. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said earlier in one of my videos about the 7 chakras, this energy has to rise through these 7 chakras, but you have to make way for this energy to rise. You have to heal. You feel me? Because if you're not healed, the energy is going to get stuck. It's not going to elevate. You have to raise your vibration. You have to have a pure heart, pure intentions, good intentions, right? So this is what we have to understand, when we're on the path, knowing that, there's so many different illusions, but the only way to see through the most difficult illusions, because as you get closer and closer to your destiny, the illusions are going to get more and more trickery. Because as the enemy sees you get closer and closer to your destiny, or what you're destined to be, they're going to work even harder They're going to start bringing all the tricks out to make it look so good. The enemy even start offering you things or putting things in your life to make it look like it's a blessing from God. You see what I'm saying? And if you're not in tune, you could be tricked. So this is why it's so important to raise this energy and become one with God and have the mind of Christ, so you can see through all the difficult illusions, even when it gets trickery. You feel what I'm saying? But that's the power of the Christ consciousness. That's the power of having a pure conscience. A pure conscience is saying that I know who I am. I know my purpose. I know where I need to go. I know who the snakes and the fakes are. I know who the people who will really help me. You feel what I'm saying? I know. You feel what I'm saying? So this is how Jesus, like I said, Jesus knew who people were. He knew where not to go. He knew how to maneuver through. He knew how to maneuver through because he had the mind of Christ. That's why he said, me and my Father are one. So you can't fool me. I know who you are. You feel what I'm saying? So you can be the same. You are designed to be the same. You just got to tap in. Raise the energy. Because once the energy manifests itself through you, and you see that power that the divine has, you don't want to never leave again. So when we say a pure consciousness, a pure awareness, what are you aware? Because that's what consciousness is. What are you aware of? Are you aware of who you are? Are you aware of where you need to go? Are you aware of who you need to be? Are you aware where you come from? You see what I'm saying? This is what pure consciousness is. It's pure. Because it's not tampered with. It's not been defiled. Because right now, from the time you've been born, your mind has been defiled. Because as a baby, you're doing what? You're learning. You're constantly learning. You're soaking up information. And this word designed to make you soak up all the wrong and the bad information that's no good for you. So now the consciousness has been tampered. It's been defiled. It's not pure anymore. So as you get older and you start realizing you're taking all of these different, thoughts and these different things you observe from life into the mind, and it forms you to have a certain type of understanding of life. Because of the things you learn, because you only can make sense of the things you learn in life. You feel what I'm saying? And if you're feeding your mind the wrong stuff, right, it's going to be defiled with so much wrong information. So you only can make sense of what you know. You only can be aware of what you know. This is why when you talk to certain people, if you start tapping into different knowledge, people look at you like, man, what are you talking about? Because they're not aware, they're not conscious of stuff like that. They're not. They're not aware like that, aware of stuff like that, because the things that they've been taught in life, you feel what I'm saying, never open up those doors for them. They only can make sense of the information that they put into their brain and the things that they learn in life. Some people never tapped in certain information. So they don't know how the system really operates, how spirituality really operates, because they never tapped in those areas. They never learned these things. But for the ones that learn these things, they can make sense of it. So having a Christ consciousness saying, hey, I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware what's going on around me. I'm fully aware what type of world we're living in. I'm fully aware how the enemy works. I'm fully aware how God works. I'm fully aware of where I'm going. I'm fully aware of where I come from, where I came from. I'm fully aware of who I need to be. And I'm fully aware of this person who's in front of me trying to stop me. I'm fully aware. That's the power of having the mind of Christ and having a pure conscience. Because things that we consume in our brain, information that we take in, is just there to confuse us. So we can't be fully aware. That's what the illusion is. It's blinding you from not being fully aware, to make it appear like it's something else. And you get caught in the illusion of thinking that this is what it is, but the whole time, no, this is what it really is. But you can't even see it because you're caught up in the illusion, because you're not have a pure mind, pure conscious. You feel what I'm saying? So the system feeds off your ignorance. They feed off that. So we have to do the work to fight out the illusion, to allow the spirit to see that, hey, this person is striving to be aware. They're striving to be conscious. They're open. They're not closed-minded. Because ones that are closed-minded, they feel like, oh, this is what I know and I'm sticking to it, or this is what my mom and pops, taught me, and what their mom and pops taught them. I'm following tradition. This is what we believe. They'll never learn the truth, because they're caught up in the cycle, and they're closed-minded, right, to any other discussion that goes outside of their box. So guess what? They're going to stay right there. You see what I'm saying? So I'm talking to the ones that's aware. I'm talking to the ones that's aware that there's more that meets the eye. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking to. And if you want to see the things, or know the things that you can't physically see yet, right? But you know it's there. What I'm saying is continue to do the work, the shadow work, which is the healing work. You feel what I'm saying? Get in touch with those demons, the dark spaces within you, or the shadow work, and heal. Because the first thing you have to do is heal first. And once you heal, now the energy can get active in you. The God energy can get active in you. Because the only way the energy can get active in you, you have to purify the heart. You feel what I'm saying? That's what God is. God is love. It's a vibration. It's a frequency. Once you tap into the frequency of love and vibrate in the frequency of love, now God is saying, because your frequency, your vibration is high, now I can manifest myself through you. Now I can elevate you in consciousness and knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So the system wants to keep you in ignorance. They want to keep you in the illusion. Because as long as you're stuck in the illusion, the God in you can't manifest through you. So purify yourself. Because the most important thing you can have is a pure consciousness, which is the mind of Christ, which is the oneness of God. So, YouTube, that's another food for thought. The Creator wants you to elevate so it can manifest itself through you. But you got to do the work first. Once you do the work, the universe will give you the power. Just be patient and put in the work. Peace, soldiers.